Hi everyone. Today we'll be making a text summarizer using Gemini API. So let's just get started. So first of all, let us start by making our API key. So for that, I need you to go to https://ai.google.dev. Now go to get API key in Google AI Studio. Next, choose whatever Google account you want. I am just going to use a throwaway account. Go to Get API key now and click on Create a new API key. Let me just delete these quickly. Go to Create API key and just click on Generative Language Client if you don't have any other projects. So yeah, create an API key in an existing environment. So this is your API key. Now copy it and go to Notepad and just paste your API key here. Now, I want you to understand that your API key is basically everything. So it helps you, API key helps you to get all the data, all the information from your app uh, for another app, right? So I think API key should be very, very private. If you have API key, you have all the data. So yeah, enough security must be maintained. But since not much is at stake here, so I'll just use this one. Yeah, okay. So now let me just move to File Explorer and then let me create a new file folder in, let's say, IML. Now click right click and go to open with code. Now just make a file name, new file as main.py. Now go to terminal and open a new terminal. So let's just start by installing the libraries that will actually help us to communicate with Gemini. So yeah, type this pip install dash u Google Generative AI, hit enter. So actually this won't show any output. So if you're skeptical whether this library is installed or not, just type pip show google.generative AI. And yeah, it should give some details like this, Google Generative AI and the location of your package. Next, we'll start by installing Streamlit. Now, Streamlit is a very famous Python framework that helps us to create um, web interface for our models, basically. So if you just have a habit of seeing things in the front end and you are not, um, you just want to give your model a good graphical user interface. So yeah, Streamlit is a good framework. It can take care of the front end for you. So pip install Streamlit. So in my system, Streamlit was already installed. So even if you're skeptical that there might be some problems with the installation, so just do pip show Streamlit. Yeah, and it should give some details like this: the name, the version, summary, and the location where this package is installed. Now we'll move on to making our text summarizer. Now let's start by importing all the necessary libraries such as Google.generative AI, generative AI as Gen AI, Next, importing Streamlit. Import Streamlit as st. Next type Gen AI dot configure API key equal to. Now within double quotes, let's add your API key that you pasted here. Copy this and paste this. So what we've done here is we've imported all the necessary libraries, and then we are uh, configuring our API key that yes, this is the API key we are going to use to communicate with Gemini. And now let's choose our model, what model we are going to use. So type Gen AI dot generative model, and we are going to use Gemini Pro. So basically in our model variable, we have stored what model we are going to use here. Now let's just create a chat variable that will actually show all the history of the chats. So yeah, we'll do model dot start chat. So this start chat function actually creates a list wherein all the conversations that you have had so far are stored. Now let's press enter. And I am next, let's just test our text summarizer on our local PC first. So let's start by typing our paragraph wherein we ask the user to enter a paragraph. So I'm taking input, enter your paragraph, basic Python. Now let's hit enter and let's get a response. Let's take a response variable wherein I will be storing the response that I will get from the model. So chat dot send message. So send message basically is a function that is used to send a message back to Gemini. So I want to summarize this text, right? Summarize whatever is stored in a paragraph. So let me just say summarize the paragraph for the user. And what paragraph? Plus paragraph. Paragraph. So yeah. So this response variable will be storing the paragraph. And let me just give some space here. Um, next line. Just a second. Next line, next line. So we just know that. Okay. Now let's do print response dot text. Eventually, if you'll learn new things ahead, then you will know that response variable will have a dictionary wherein a lot of parameters will be stored, like whatever parameters you have set for the prompt, all of that will be stored, but we only have to get the text part of the response, right? So we are doing response dot text. Now let's once um, debug our uh, file. So yeah, no errors, no errors. Okay, so um, we are getting some error. Generative model has no attribute start chat. Okay, so it doesn't have to be start chat. It has to be start chat. Let's debug this once again. So yeah, we are not getting any errors. Let's just run this. And let me just quickly get some text. about, let me just go to ChatGPT and let me just get some text about, um, let's say Taj Mahal. I think this must be enough. So yeah, let me just copy it and move back to VS Code. So enter your paragraph. So you see, this terminal says enter your paragraph. Now, mm, I don't know what is happening. Just a second. Let me just run this once again. Oh, guys, so this is actually the terminal. So I think you're not allowed to copy paste here. So let me just write a few things, a few random things. So she is a really intelligent person. She has a lot of hobbies. She socializes a lot. She reads a lot of books, does a lot of coding, uh, likes to watch anime. No, guys, I did not write about myself. Let's press enter. Yeah, so see, this is the response that we are getting from the API, from BART. The individual possesses high intelligence, engages in diverse hobbies, maintains an active social life, enjoys reading, is proficient in coding, and appreciates visual entertainment. So yeah, this clearly shows that we are getting good output from Gemini API. But what if I wanted to give this output of some front end, right? So let's do exactly just that. Now I want you to comment this part out. Oh, I want you to comment this part out, and let's start by making a function def main. So our main function will actually contain some streamlit code that we'll have to run again and again, right? Let me just see if it's recording or not. Oh yeah, it's recording. Okay. So def function will contain some code that will basically run again and again, right? So we have to write the code of our web page here. Obviously, your web page will be hosted continuously. It will be running continuously from your local machine. So that part has to be included in your main function. So let's start by giving a title to our app. So for that, you have to use st.title. Let's say text summarizer app. Now, let's take some input. I'm writing the comment input from user. Now, for taking an input from the user, we have to have a text area, right? An area where a user can enter something. So for that text area, basically, I'll and also, yeah, from that text area, you have to get that text so that you can send it back to your model for getting the response. So you also have to store that paragraph text. Okay. So I am writing paragraph equals to xt dot text area. So this text area basically gives you an area or a good front end wherein your user can write anything, and that whatever text will be stored in this area will be gone to this paragraph, stored in this paragraph variable. Now, so okay, I think this is very basic. So if you don't enter a paragraph, so you won't get an output. So for that, we have to check that yes, paragraph, if paragraph if paragraph, then do something. Okay, let's see. So what does if paragraph means? I am pretty sure that you are aware that except 0, everything is considered true in Python. So this is just what is happening, 0 and empty, null values, right? I guess. So yeah, so if paragraph will not contain anything, means it will be none or null, I guess. So this condition will be false. Therefore, nothing will happen. So do something. Now, what do we have to do? We have to, okay, now we have got this paragraph. Now do you think we need a button? A button, a summarize button where after clicking, your paragraph will go back. So yes, we are sensing a need of a button. So for that, we'll write st.button, st.button, summarize button. Okay. Now, but you will perform the operation only if that button is pressed, right? So there has to be another if condition here. So if st.button, that is, if that button is pressed, basically this will return a true value if the button is pressed, else it will remain false. Please keep a very good check of the indentation. So def, actually this if should be inside def and this if should be inside this if. So let me just make a variable known as summary text wherein I will store whatever data I will get from Gemini. So we have to do what we did here. So in response, I wrote this message, right? I used this function. So I have to write chat.send again, chat.send message. Now maybe let's say I want to do a different thing now. I want the model to summarize a paragraph for the user in 50 words only. Maybe that's just my specific need. Okay. Now we'll give the input as plus paragraph. Okay. Yeah. So, and now we need an area where the summary text that we are getting can be shown, right? So let's start by creating a subheader, st dot subheader. So that subheader will be actually that font will be a little smaller than title, obviously. So that subheader will give you a section to display your summary. And next I am using this um, st.write, which will write that summary dot the summary understroke text, right? Because obviously as I told you, we have to get the text response. So yeah, so that's basically it. Now at last, let's start by adding our decorator. So decorator is nothing but it just means that in simple language, if the name of your file is main, then you just have to run this function again and again. Okay, great. So yeah, this is all the code that we have to write right now. And now let's once we'll debug this. Okay, so there are no problems. Now let's run this. So we have to write streamlit run and the name of your file. So the name of my file here is main.py. So I'll write main.py. In some cases, a browser may not open on its own. So you will have to click on this link and follow this link. Go to click on follow link. So basically, these are your local URL and network URL of where your this web page is hosted, And this is your port number basically. There are a lot of ports in your laptop. So there is a port also called 880. So basically here it is hosted on port number 8501. Okay. So these are the URLs. Now, if it is not already displayed, just go to follow link and something like this should appear. So let me just once again go to ChatGPT and just copy this paragraph, and I'm moving to my app and I'm copying this. So I am pressing Control plus Enter as it says here, and I'm clicking on the summarize button. It's running, as you can see. Yeah, so we have got the summary of Taj Mahal in just 50 lines according to this paragraph. So if this is your first time exploring Gemini API or first project on Gemini API, so congratulations um, for your first project on generative AI. And I hope you enjoyed this. So yeah, thanks a lot.